I shared a video earlier talking about the new Learn system within ThriveCart. Basically, this is a way that within your ThriveCart system, you can share courses and memberships. They've made a couple of updates. I wanted to show you how those look now. There's some new themes for your courses. And let's just go ahead and dive in and take a look. Hi, my name is William Beam with Suburbia Press. We like to help you choose and use the technology that powers your business. ThriveCart is an outstanding software as a service, I guess I would call it, for anything that you want to do where you need to put up a payment system, maybe have some funnels where you can do bump orders, which are little add-ons that you could add to something and say, hey, if you like this, maybe you can bump up and get a little bit more revenue by adding something that's complementary to it. And also it does a number of funnels where you can do upsell and downsell offers to increase the overall revenue from a single transaction. On top of all of that, they added a learning management system, a course membership system, and I was really excited about that. I'm starting to build a few things out, and now they've enhanced it just a little bit more by putting in some professional templates for how those courses look, and that's what I want to show you today. If you're not familiar with ThriveCart Learn, when you sign in, you see where it says new and looks like a graduate's cap over here. This brings us into this section. And you can see where you can have your courses, bundles in case you want to have multiple courses. You can manage your students. And on this one, I've just got myself in there a number of times. And you can also have your team. But what we want to start off with here is looking at courses. You can have a number of courses. You can have a number of courses for different systems. By that, I mean different domains. So for example, I've got one for Suburbia Press, but I could also have different domains for different courses. So some of my other sites where I want to add something in here, they don't all have to go to the same domain. So let's take a look at this one for members only. You can preview, you can edit, and let's start off with a preview. So you can see that what we have over here right now is the title. I've got a little card over here of what this is. You can see there's a progress bar now for your students so they know how far they've come. When they've completed something, down here at the bottom, you see this course, there's a little green check mark. So that's part of the progress. You can see that if they've already done this, and this one is not a video, this is just basically a search system, and that's based off of my video hosting, which is called Searchy, and it has this little search thing. So if I want to search for something that's inside of this course, it'll bring that up, and it'll take you right to the place where, let's say in the video for third-party integration, you can see there's a course lesson over there. It'll show that, and same thing for administration and a number of other areas. So that's something that's a separate product. It's called Searchy. Your video hosting isn't provided with Learn. It comes in with any third-party video hosting that you have. So you could put your stuff on YouTube. You could put it on Vimeo. I use Searchy because I think that it's a superior service, but there are different ways that you can add video. But this gives us a look at one of the templates that we have for setting up your course. So over here, we've got this where we can begin this, and you can see where we can go, over to the next lesson. We can continue on to complete this one. But let's go back to our dashboard and say that we want to edit this. If you want to find out what you can do for the course layout, surprisingly, it is this little button down here that's kind of hard to see if you don't know where to look for it because it's the same color as everything else. I wish they'd kind of put a little color in it like they did with this button down here. So if you click this, you can change your course layout. So you can see that we have a sidebar, which is the view that we just looked at. Another one is this top menu, and we'll take a look at that, and also a grid page. So we've seen the sidebar. Let's say, okay, and take a look at this. We're going to go ahead and proceed. And now let's go back to our preview. And you can see here's the menu up top. So you can kind of click this and see everything you want. It gives you a very nice, clean look to your course without having maybe some clutter on the side if you were worried about that. And the next option, if you see the grid pane, I won't bother going into that. You can see that it will show your courses, the lessons in your course, just one after the other. So that way users can select. So you've got the sidebar, and there's a legacy sidebar. This is what it used to look like, and there's just a little bit of enhancements to it. And let's go ahead and take a look at that. We'll click Proceed and Preview. So I mentioned that there is the progress bar, and also the checkboxes over here. So that's a little bit of an enhancement. You can see over here, if we have our user, that's where they can click on that to manage their profile or sign out if they're ready to end this. But it is a nice, clean look, and that is part of what we're seeing as our changes. Another part over here, if we click on these little three dots, you can either clone or delete. And then over here is where you can put up an updated image module. So if you look down here, most of these, I don't have them. I do have them embedded in the video itself. So that's why when we click on the initial setup and we come up here to maybe to this setup, that's within my video hosting. If you want to have something that's showing up on your grid pane or other places, you'll need to click on this, and then you can go over here and select a image that works, and they've got the recommended size of 1280 by 960. Mine aren't at that size, so I'm not going to do that right now. But that way you can see a thumbnail over here of where you have your images, and that's what's going to show up on your grid pane. Now, something else that I wanted to take a look at is over here where it says specific tags. This one you can see I've got the name of the course, members only. There are a couple of things that you can do with tags. So for example, this course could be for every student. Anybody who's on your site could get this course. And that's if you were going to do a membership perhaps, or maybe if you want to do a tiered membership, you'd have different tags like tier 1, tier 2, or maybe it's, bronze, silver, gold, whatever you decide that it's going to be. And then you can enter more tags over here if that's what you need. If we come down and look at some of the other ones, this one doesn't have anything. So if I want to add a tag here, as I start typing, you'll see that other things come up. So I had this tag, members only, and you could change the tags. I could say access members only, and then when they complete, you could give them a tag that says completed. Maybe when somebody completes a course and you give them a tag like that, it may open up other opportunities for them. But if nothing else, it shows you who's made it all the way through your course. So that's kind of a nice thing to have. Also notice that you've got a choice for your courses, whether it's instant or dripped. So in other words, if you want to drip things out, it may be based on a time period, day of the month, specific calendar date, or after a trial or a rebuild period. So there's a chance that you can give everybody access to everything all at once, or you can drip it out. So there's nice little options there. And there's obviously a lot more with ThriveCart and ThriveCart Learn. You can tell I have ThriveCart Pro and Learn Plus. Those give you a few little additional things. I'll go over that in a separate video. One of the things I wanted to mention, I'm recording this in December 2021. The folks at ThriveCart have said there is a lot coming out in updates to both ThriveCart and ThriveCart Learn in January of 2022. No idea what they're going to do, but they seem to be very excited about that. So I'm looking forward to the announcement of what features they're going to add. And then, of course, I will share that with videos here. But if you're not using ThriveCart Learn yet, it is not an additional cost. If you pay for ThriveCart, and it is the shopping cart system that I recommend, you get ThriveCart Learn put in with it. It is part of your purchase. It is not an additional cost. And because this is a one-time cost right now, or basically a lifetime deal, you don't have to pay anything again. So think of all that money that you could be spending on Teachable or Thinkific or other hosting systems. You don't have to keep doing that. They're not going to take a cut of your money. Basically, you've got your shopping cart system, which many people use ThriveCart even in with Teachable, for example. I know people have done that, so they can do upsells and downsells or create bundles. Well, here you've got ThriveCart Learn as part of ThriveCart, so you can avoid that cost with some of these other services that are doing your courses. So like, again, I've used Teachable and Thinkific as examples. I've used Teachable in the past. I have not used Thinkific. I've used it as a student. I haven't bought into that service. I've used Teachable in the past, and it's functional, but I think that it's not worth the money, quite honestly. And I am currently using LearnDash on WordPress, and I like that. LearnDash is very good, but it also takes a toll on the system resources, depending on how many students you have coming in. This one is built upon Amazon Web Services. It is a rock-solid foundation and background, and I found that it's good to have not only my shopping cart always available with the ThriveCart system that's built on Amazon Web Services, but now also the learning platform is on a good solid foundation. So I think this may be the direction that I'm going to go and moving some things off of LearnDash over here. And that's not to say that LearnDash has any problems. It's basically from my setup where I'm putting everything in one place. I've decided that it is not what's best for me. So I am going to be using this. I am recommending this, and I hope you enjoy it. Please take a look at it and see if it's right for you. If you want to check out ThriveCart and ThriveCart Learn, I've got a link in the description below, and I'll put it up on the screen here. That is suburbiapress.com/ThriveCart, and that'll get you right over there. As I said, they've got a lot of innovations coming up in January. They're teasing us with it because I don't know exactly what it's going to be, but they've really surprised us when they brought out Learn just a little while before I created this video, and I've been working with it, and I'm going to be migrating there. I think that the new things that they're excited about, they said some of them, they've been waiting a year to put these things in. I've got a feeling that there are a lot of new releases coming up. I don't know if they're going to be ending the lifetime deal sometime in 2022 or not, but this is one of those things that if it's on a lifetime deal, things do end. Fluent Support, for example, is on a lifetime deal as I'm recording this, and it's going to be done by January 1st of 2022. So if you wait, you may miss out. I would say go ahead, take a look at this. Again, suburbiapress.com/ThriveCart. Thank you so much for spending a little bit of time with me here today. I really appreciate it. If you like this video, please go ahead and click the like button, subscribe, and you'll see new videos when they come out. Just click that little bell notification icon. That'll let you know when there's something else for online entrepreneurs like yourself. And thank you so much for spending some time with me. I'll see you in the next video.